very intense, way more than the first one. And I felt just gone, you know. But when you were finishing up, the host was saying that, is there a message? You know, asking for the message. And I felt like I got the message, the same message that I got this morning before I came here.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I'm wondering if in the travel and the movement to the other dimensions or to the higher levels, whether because our time span is not the same, our counting of time is so different. You know, what I got this morning at 9 o'clock and now this afternoon just kind of came right there again.
Mm-hmm.
So does that happen? Do you get that before you even?
Oh,
Yeah. Like it felt like it was there for me, and that I had received it, and then when I asked for it again, it was presented again to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how does that work?
Okay. I'm going to explain that this, hi, sweetheart. And I gotta say, Pippa did a great job. Like, one of the reasons we were able to get so intense is she was really giving her energy. Dogs are amazing divine conduits. Just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the wolves.
Yeah. So, uh, when about the sense of time and messages coming through before and after an event, all of your guides knew that you were coming here. So they were already connecting us, you know, depending on people and relationships. But between yesterday and today, I could already feel, I think at one point I mentioned it to Kate, like I was getting a little like goofy. I'm like, oh, it's already happening. It's already coming in. We have 3D reality and we have a linear timeline. But once you leave this reality, you don't have any of that. So for them, time is more like what they choose to manage at the moment. So it's not linear. It's the only way. I'm going to explain it in a couple of different ways, and one of these ways may resonate with each of you. Imagine you're going into a house, and each room in the house has a project you're working on. So you go into the living room and you're working on a project with some people, and then a couple of you peel off to the kitchen to do something. That's sort of the way they see time, that you're working on multiple things at once. It's what energetically needs your attention at the moment, as opposed to first this, then this, then this. When I think of our higher self, which is of course our collective, people ask, how is it that we're able to connect with, like, most people think you go and you see your past life. No, you can go and experience your past life. You can talk with your past life. I chat with some of my past lives. They have insights and information that help me in my current life. I want them here advising me, making sure I don't make a mistake that I already have the information to not make. How does this happen? Imagine each of us in our higher state, we're like a beautiful crystal with many facets. It can be a cut crystal or a naturally growing crystal, whatever works for you. Each facet of the crystal is one of your lives, past, present, and future. And who you are is the whole crystal, but like me, Bonita, I'm one facet on the crystal of my higher self. And you can shine light through facets and it can connect. You know, you have crystalline growth structure, you're able to connect through that, you're able to connect around. We can each connect, but we come together to be the higher being. So if people say, oh, I'd love to be part of a collective, we already are. You know, each of us is part of a collective of ourself. And when our higher being chooses to come to life, it's not like all of our higher being is in us. You know, energy, you you know, our higher beings are energetic, so they can give as much as they want. Some of us, like I know for myself, there is another person who's alive on Earth right now who is also of my higher self. Two of my lives are living at the same time. It's not a past life or future, they're concurrent. And we've met, we're friends. It's very strange, very strange. But and it took me like a while to figure out what is the relationship I have with this person because it just felt like unique and uncomfortable. But from the first moment we met, we have been like so close, but we have nothing in common. He's like a man 25 years younger than me. We have absolutely nothing in common. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff, but he loves it when I do energy healing on him because he like has a great nap. Um, and but when he needs help, I'm the first person he calls. And when I need help, I call him. I always have a need to watch over him like his big sister. Um, and one day, someone that I turned to for my mentoring said, "Well, yeah, you're from the same higher self." So we, you know, okay, it's not past, present, or future. I mean, it's present. Um, so once you get out of the 3D reality, time's just a whole different thing. You can't even measure it the way we see time. One time I was sitting waiting to have a meeting with someone who, a medium that I was having a session with. This was years and years ago, before I did any of this, um, you know, professionally. This was my first time having a reading with a medium. I thought, ooh, this is going to be so weird. And while I was sitting and waiting for him, I was like thrown into a meditative state like that. And I was shown me in a past life. And the me of that past life, she was very, very well dressed. And she was walking through a beautiful garden. And there was like castle in the background. She was like a lady in waiting to princess. And she turned and she winked at me and then kept on running. And she was looking at me. She wasn't just like winking at random, I happened to see it. She pulled me back to show me that she was there. And then she walked up to this man who was her tutor and they started talking. They both looked at me and they cracked up laughing. And then I was thrown back into my chair in the waiting room going, what? What was that? So I went and I met this man and we were talking. And then I told him what had happened. And he cracked up. He's like, oh, let me look into it. And he was like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's funny. And he wouldn't tell me anything. So later, I discovered on my own, he was the tutor of that life. In that life, he was my tutor. And they were just both happy that he and I were going to meet in this life. And he has been a bit of a mentor for me. So we're like, how does time work? Different from here. Um, so on one side, your guides all knew you were going to come. They were already working with you, connecting with you. On the other side, time doesn't really exist, so it's possible for them at the same time to send a message down now that also would have hit them. Long answer for a straightforward question. Does anyone have? Okay, they're building something right now and they're very excited. So, like, imagine a bunch of science nerds and they're like, oh, we're doing something right now, chat with them. We got it. So, they're very excited about something. But does anyone have anything you want to share or anything that happened or any questions that you want to ask me? Mhm. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, it got really intense in here, a lot of energy. Yeah, yeah, that's great. If you are doing energetic work and you get overheated, so you're getting a lot of energy, open up the flow, open it up. It doesn't always help, but it can. Just as if you're doing energetic work with angels and you find yourself getting really cold, ask them to send you warming energy because their energy is very cold for us, but it doesn't have to be. But that's awesome. That's amazing. I love it when things like that happen. Yeah. And who else had a question or?
Yourself.
Oh, okay. All right.
I did find on my way over here, I was stating to my guides, this is what I'm hoping to happen today. This is what I'd like to leave with, and anything else would be a bonus. But the way that I was wording what I wanted is was like exact verbiage of what you used in, when you were posting. Some of the verbiage that you used was really moving.
That's great. Oh, that's my pleasure. That's wonderful. Thank you. And so, okay. Um, all right. So they're saying that they built a construct to connect you all to archangels and ascended masters. And they're very excited. This was not something they were planning on doing, but they're saying the vibration in this room is so high and everyone in here is so receptive that they want to try this. So what they're going to do is they're going to come back through and they're going to do a little more talking because they love to talk. Um, and they're really excited because you all have created such a wonderful energy here. And of course, Ravenwolf Center has such beautiful energy. They're able to come through um, as well as they hope to. So they're going to come through and talk a little bit. They're really excited about that. Yeah, they're like already trying to push me out. They're literally like pushing me out. And then they're they've created an energetic construct to help connect you all to either ascended masters or archangels or someone of that vibration, that very high vibration who will come through for you. This is actually really, really special. Um, and so it definitely will call for everyone to be relaxed and, receptive. Uh, Everything we were talking about.